The class today is Accounts Payable Detail Posting in the Daily Process. We'll be recording this training video into two parts, one on configuration and reporting, and two on the process. And the key to having a good process in place is what we call using best practice. And what becomes important is that we're tying every PO number to the invoice number. We track credits, but we run this every day. We put everything in invoice order by supplier. Now, this training is being offered by Auto Apps, Inc. Bruce and Paul Stewart are not affiliated with R-Rider and Progressive Automotive Systems. R-Rider is a registered trademark of Progressive Automotive Systems. So with this, we want to thank our service centers that are allowing us to use live data to show you how the real process is done and what best practices is. When we open up an invoice, and we want to be able to instantly look and see if a part has been received or if it's here. If it's in red, it hasn't been received yet. And how we do that is in configuration, we require department and invoice number. So as soon as we receive the part in through Accounts Payable Detail Posting, we'll put the parts department and the invoice number in, and we'll go through that process in part two. So with that, I want to jump into the accounts payable and talk about what our goals are. Our goals is that we can be able to look at our supplier invoices and know exactly what we owe each supplier and be able to run a report that matches the invoice statement from that supplier. So the key reports we're going to be looking at is the summary of expenses by supplier report. I'm just going to click on that real quick for a month, and what you'll be able to see there is how much we owe each vendor and be able to look at what our overall vendor payment due is, but also be able to go into detail expenses by supplier report and pick NAPA and be able to match up invoice to invoice, credit to credit. And if this is done daily, then this will always be right. And so what we want to do, part of the best practices is to put all your invoices in invoice order by supplier and verify everything got posted to either an invoice or to a credit, and be able to track the credits so we know that we get all our credits back. And through this process, it's very, very simple to do. The other thing that we look at is our summary expenses by account report, and this is just simply telling you where those invoices got posted to, either to inventory or shop supplies or towing. So with that, what we want to do in the setup is we want to go to general accounts, and we want to keep our general accounts as simple as possible, because all your true edit and all these are mapped to your QuickBooks or to your accounting program, so they can be tracked directly into. So what the huge benefit here is if you do detail posting into your R-Rider software program, then it will move it through the back office into subsidiary accounting, where you can actually pay the invoices, each invoice in your QuickBooks or your accounting program. Again, another thing you'd want to set up is your shop credit cards, because some of the invoices are going to be paid by check and some of them are going to be paid with credit cards. So this would track your gasoline purchases, anything paid by credit card, parts ordered by credit card, and then also for your checks. And then you have the ability to edit invoices. So if you needed to edit an invoice from a previous day, you just change the date, pick your supplier, and if you fetch it, you're able to bring those invoices back up. You're able to, like this zero invoice here, it just was put in as a mistake. You can go ahead and delete it, and the deleted invoices are tracked. so you don't have any duplication, but you can see that we had we had a return and a credit that went back that day to factory. So that becomes the key to managing your invoices is part of the daily process, is to look at and print out at the end of each day. So the best practice would be that as you go through the day, you're putting it in invoice order by supplier. So each supplier you already got an invoice order and you already got it by supplier. So if you're a really busy shop, you may want to do this at lunch and then do it at the end of the day. And you simply print for all your suppliers. It's only going to print the ones that you posted with. And then you're simply going through and matching up in invoice order each one of the invoices through each supplier. And then it makes it very, very easy for this to be accurate, and then we know every part got accountable for, every invoice got accounted for on your accounts payables posting. So with that, you're able to, from here, post invoices. If you just had a summary invoice for a credit, you could do that, and that's where that would be used. But 98%, 95% of your postings is going to be done through the accounts payable detailed posting process, which I'll cover in the second part of this training class.